Hello and welcome. Everyone, on behalf of SDET Tech, I warmly welcome you to our exciting webinar on image verification and 3D web automation, the future of testing. We are thrilled to have such an incredible audience joining us from across the globe. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. The world of software testing is rapidly evolving, and today we are diving into two game changing advancements: image verifications and 3D web automation. These technologies are not just buzzwords, they are changing how we approach quality assurance, delivering unparalleled accuracy and efficiency for cutting edge applications. I'm Sneha Singh, Business Development Manager at SDET Tech, and I'll be your moderator for today. For those unfamiliar, SJet Tech is a leading software quality testing company trusted by global clients of its end-to-end QA solution. Since 2019, we have successfully delivered numerous projects across various industries, including healthcare, fintech, e-learning, retail, and many more. We have two incredible experts joining us today, Mr. Harshit Malpani. Let me introduce him. Hi, Harshit.
Hello, Sneha. Thank you. I'll be honored. I'm honored to be here with you.
So, Mr. Harshit will deep dive us into image verification and its role in improving the automation testing accuracy. We have one more guest today with us, Ms. Arohi Shukla. Hi, Arohi.
Hi Sneha. Hi Harshit.
So, Ms. Arohi will share how 3D web automation is shaping the future of quality assurance. So, before we dive in, a quick reminder: feel free to engage with us in the comments or drop your question throughout the session. Let's dive in. Okay, before we jump into the details, let's understand why these topics matters today. Harshit, let's start with you. Why is image verification becoming a game changer in software testing?
Thank you, Sneha. Thanks a lot for this wonderful introduction. I feel privileged to be part of this webinar. Now, coming back to your question, right now, most of us are focused on functional testing only. Now, and traditional automation only ensures that element work but doesn't verify how they look. Most of the organization are adapting to automation testing, but the script will break with minor UI changes, leading to frequent updates and increased efforts. Lastly, the number of responsive applications are increasing day by day. The animations and dynamic content are hard to validate using conventional tools, leaving gaps in user experience testing. Yeah, that is it. Yeah.
That was great. That was really fantastic. I think it's time to let's take the opinion from Aruhi as well. Aruhi, what do you think? Tell us something about 3D web automation and what's driving the shift, and why should tester care about this?
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank you, Sneha, for hosting this awesome series of webinars. And I'm truly grateful to be invited for this. And wonderfully explained, Harshit. The point you've made about adaptation of responsive designs and animations in web applications is increasing day by day. And as an automation engineer, it is critical that we automate these responsive designs. Now, let me talk about the complexities in testing 3D environments. Testing 3D isn't like testing regular websites. Some of the challenges that we face are, that would be dynamic nature. 3D objects rotate, zoom, and move in real time. Testing needs to ensure all these behaviors are correct. For example, verifying that a 3D car rotates smoothly when dragged and doesn't lag or distort. Next one could be variety of devices and browsers. 3D models must look the same on the mobile, browsers, and desktop. For example, a 3D model of a house might load perfectly on Chrome, but it could fail on a Safari. And another one could be performance issues. So 3D assets are heavy and Optimizing them for faster load times is critical. Hence, we have to make sure that we are not introducing any hard-coded ways. And I mean, we can talk about the tools that we need to use for shaping the 3D automation. So, here are some popular tools which would help us achieve the same. One of them can be 3.js, which is a JavaScript library, and it helps us to create 3D content on the web. It is an easy to use, lightweight, cross browser, and it's a general purpose 3D library. For example, automating testing of interactive 3D animations using custom scripts. Then next one is babylon.js, which is a powerful, beautiful, simple, and completely open source web rendering engine. Then last I can say is Selenium and robot framework. So it helps us automate basic interactions with the 3D elements, so just that clicks, rotations, and performing validations like clicking on a spinning 3D globe, zooming in correctly. That's it.
Fantastic. I mean, I think that was a great start. Now that we have set the stage, let's explore these technologies in more interactive way. I let Harshit and Arohi engage directly to unpack all the synergies between the image verification and 3D web automation. I let them speak now. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Sneha. So let's start with the very basic thing, very first thing. What is 3D? Let's talk about what is 3D and how it is being used in other application in all the applications. So 3D application is essentially rendered in canvas tag inside a DOM. So as Rohi has mentioned before, 3D we are using day by day. In if you see any automobile application, or if you see basic application like Amazon, if you are trying to see any furniture, if you are trying to look and see that furniture in your room, that is basically rendering that specific furniture in your own room. So that is 3D. So 3D application is rendered inside a canvas tag. If we are an automation engineer, it's very simple. Like if you go inside a DOM, you can see the canvas tag inside the DOM. Now next question would be, which would come just after this question would be, what is a canvas tag? So let me take the liberty to explain about it as well. So the canvas tag is an HTML5 element used to draw graphics dynamically by scripting, which is JavaScript. In simple terms, it is like blank digital board. It allows the developers to draw graphics, animations, interactive 3D models directly on a web page using JavaScript. Some of the major challenges that I have faced while accessing and automating canvas element in web applications were like DOM, like canvas elements are pixel based rather than DOM based. So it is making a lot difficult to interact with individual elements and capture their properties. Second one would be like uh, it limits the element interaction. So the canvas tag does not support native interaction like click events like we perform using in general automation using Selenium scripts and everything. So we are, and in the DOM, if we're trying to expect, we don't see anything. We just see one canvas tag, and that is it. We cannot perform any actions using DOM there. So we cannot perform any drag and drop operations. We cannot perform any select operations. No operations we can perform on a on a canvas tag. And just like I have mentioned, like limited accessibility is also there because there is just one tag and everything is loaded inside that tag. So content inside the canvas tag is not accessible now. So this is the basic understanding of canvas tag and 3D automation, 3D view rendering. Now I'll ask Arohi now. So can you please shed some light why 3D, like why 3D in web design?
Okay, so the adoption of 3D in web design has become quite popular these days. 3D is everywhere, from interactive product showcases, virtual stores, and online games to engineering simulations. Companies are using it to create immersive user experiences that go beyond static and flat visuals. For example, a furniture website lets you place a 3D chair in your living room using augmented reality. As a result, it provides better engagement and informed decision making for the users.
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. So let's start with the fundamental question, Arohi. 3D web automation sounds exciting and challenging as we have worked before as well. So it is challenging, no doubt. So from your experience, what was your biggest hurdle while you were doing 3D based application automation? So what was your biggest hurdle?
Great question, Harshit. Yes, the biggest challenge in handling dynamic rendering was that the open source framework provided by our client wasn't feasible for handling 3D rendering. So we can say, like in 2D environments, we primarily work with two axes: the x axis, which is horizontal, and the y axis, which is vertical. The framework was capable of handling these two dimensions effectively. However, in 3D rendering, there is an additional dimension, the z axis, which represents the depth. And the main challenge we faced was that the open source tool only supported interactions along the x and the y axis, making it suitable for only 2D, but completely inadequate for the 3D tasks, where the z axis is just as important. And because of this limitation, we couldn't achieve the level of control we needed to fully interact with the 3D objects. And ultimately, this led us to explore alternative solutions that could better meet the demands of 3D rendering.
Okay, Arohi, that looks like a real challenge. Being an automation engineer myself, it's really a complex scenario where we need to automate z-axis, where my automation framework or whatever the framework I'm using, Selenium or Robot or Puppeteer or anyone, it does not provide the z-axis itself natively. So, so, what are the approaches you took to get through this situation? I'm really intrigued. So, first, tell me what are the solutions? What are the solutions you found and took forward, and which solution specifically worked through for you?
Okay. So, unlike traditional 2D web elements, the 3D environments rely heavily on complex interactions and real time rendering, which traditional testing tools can't always capture accurately. So, first we tried using the action classes, where I can navigate using X and Y axis on the application canvas. But it did not work out because we need to leverage Z axis as well. Then we changed our approach and tackled the situation by breaking the problem into two parts. First, we will perform an action, and second, we will validate that the action has been performed. So, to perform an action, we were able to use our conventional action classes, and here comes image verification in the picture, where we needed to validate things. And so we tried using different libraries, for instance, Pillow, Securely, but we were hitting multiple roadblocks and validating the actual output. Yeah.
Hold on, Arohi. Before we deep dive into the approaches and solutions that work for you, can you please explain what is the concept of image verification? Like, what is image verification? Can you guide us
Sure.
through?
Sure. So, image verification involves comparing a current image with a reference image to ensure that they match. This ensures that an application or the website's visual output is correct and consistent. There are a lot of advantages of using image verification in automation testing, and I would like to mention some of them. One of them can be UI consistency, which ensures that the user interface remains visually cohesive across different versions of the application and maintain a seamless user experience. Then we can say detecting visual bugs, which helps identify issues like misaligned elements, missing icons, or incorrect colors that could disrupt usability or design standards. Cross-platform compatibility, that can ensure the application looks flawless across a variety of devices, screen sizes, and resolutions, delivering a consistent experience to all our users. Regression testing safeguards against new code changes and like affecting the visual appearance of the application, keeping the UI intact as features evolve. Lastly, we can say efficiency in visual testing comes from automating checks, which saves significant time and reduces the risk of human error during manual inspections.
So it looks promising the way you are explaining about image verification, and there must be, I don't think so. It is a native tools for the open source libraries which we have right now in automation testing. So are there any specific tools for image verifications, or what are the tools you have used, and what are the tools you have experimented on the course of this challenge which you are working upon? What tools did you use for image verification?
As I had mentioned before, we tried using different libraries like Pillow, Securely. However, it was Image Horizon Library which touched the right chord. This library provides extensive capabilities of recognizing images. For instance, like whatever image is present on the screen, it just verifies that it is present, even if it's within a canvas tag. So, and along with that, it provides the ability to perform keyboard and mouse actions. And by using this library, we were able to perform image recognition, but to validate this, we needed more precise control. And for this, I used OpenCV Python.
I take it you were facing performance related issues as well, right? How were you able to manage them?
Yes, performance is tricky with 3D. So we simulate user interactions across multiple devices and platforms using WebGL profiling tools. This ensures consistent performance without lag.
Definitely, sorry, I'm sorry. So definitely, image verification can detect rendering inconsistencies and performance-related visual glitches. So which ensures the final output aligns with user expectations. So the cross application of technologies is fascinating, right? So for image verifications, one of the primary challenges is achieving precision in dynamic layouts, as I understand. So here, can AI help to bridge this gap? But the training models for diverse visual patterns can be resource intensive. Do you see any overlap here, particularly when testing visually rich 3D environments, Sarohi? What say?
Absolutely. 3D automation often requires validation of textures, lighting, and object positioning, all of which could benefit from AI driven verification techniques. For instance, when verifying 3D object placements, combining these technologies can streamline the process. Have you seen any similar synergies in your project, Harshit?
Yes, I have seen a lot of these projects these days. Now, whatever the projects I'm working upon, it seems like they are 3D rich. So when working with e-commerce platform especially, it integrates 3D product reviews. Image verifications tools ensures the fidelity of the visuals. When 3D automation validate interactivity, and also if you see, apart from e-commerce tools, if you see any other tools like the way I have spoken about automobile application, any automobile application, if you see, or if you see any the recently developed Apple application like Apple website, if you go, the way they are showcasing their mobile there, so it's truly immersive. It's the next level. So those type of application, if you are trying to automate, so those things are the really big game changer. So do you recommend handling any such type, like these type of use cases which I'm just talking about? What tools do you recommend in handling such use cases?
I would recommend tools like 3.js can be a great starting point for 3D automation, and pairing them up with AI powered plugins like Applitools for visual testing. This creates a robust testing framework. Apart from that, we can also use robot framework Selenium with Python. I think
Okay,
that will be
so
really good.
okay, okay. So you just talk about 3.js, right? So 3.js is right currently a very popular tool these days. I have heard a lot about it. Do you have any idea about what is 3.js and how it can be used?
Sure. Uh, 3.js is a popular JavaScript library used for creating and displaying 3D graphics in the web browser. And it helps the developers create 3D models within a canvas tag. And the most interesting thing about is that we don't need any extra software or plugins in order to create 3D scenes, models, and animations directly in the browser. But in order to
Okay.
understand how they are being created, we need to know about the components like scenes, cameras, materials, lighting, geometry, many more things.
All right. So I understand you have a demo prepared for us, right? Can you showcase it to us so that we understand
Yes,
how it actually works in while doing the automation?
sure. So right
Can you walk
now,
us through it as well?
like you can already see,
Yeah.
this is the very basic example of what a 3.js 3D model looks like, and whatever actions you're seeing right now are being performed through automation. And yes, this 3D model is also placed within a canvas tag. So we are
It
performing the
really
actions
looks
like
very
click,
complex application.
rotate, is, and we can perform the action click, drag and drop, rotate.
And this is the script you wrote, I take it?
Yes.
And your tests are passing, amazing.
Yes.
Okay. So, Sneha, over to you. I think we have covered most of the part.
Yep, thank you. I think this was a brilliant exchange, and you both have shed lights on these innovations, complements each other. I mean, I saw the demo also. It looks so interesting. Now, I think my audience have also enjoyed the same the way I had. Now let's involve our audience and hear their question also, because I can see like there are lots of questions in my chat box. Let's take few of them. Okay, so I have one question which says, "What tools do you recommend for tester to start the image verification?" Harshit, do you want to give the answer for this?
Sure, I'll take this question. Next, Arohi, next one would be yours. Okay. So, for the
Sure.
starting point, you can use the Auto IT tool. Auto IT is the very basic tool, and even any automation engineer or any basic engineer who really wants to get started with automation testing and image verification per se, so they can start with Auto IT. It is very basic tool, and it does not require extensive knowledge. So it's very simple and easy to use. Now, once you are acquainted with the Auto IT, you can use Pillow, Sikuli, Eggplant. Pillow is Python based, Sikuli is Java and Python both. Eggplant is robot framework based. So there are multiple tools, but for the start point, Auto IT is the great one. I would recommend Auto IT.
Got it. Got it. I hope the person who asked this question have got the answers as well. Getting to the second question now, which is, what was the accuracy achieved with the image comparison?
Arohi, are you taking it?
Okay.
Or shall I?
Yes, I'm taking this up. So, through automation, while performing the image verification, we have achieved up to 80% of image accuracy, keeping in mind that the application was running. Also, the images were captured in the real time. So, I think that was a good result.
Nice, great. So I think I have actually several more questions in my chat box, but because of the limitation of a time and I'm respecting everybody's time over here, I'll just take the last one. And it is, if I want to really perform some validations on 3D elements, how can we do that? And I think that's a very important question.
Yes, exactly. And this is the most, like I would say, to the point question, which this webinar is all about. So, the way we have talked about it is about image verifications and verification part. So, to perform the actions, if it's a very simple application where the 3D models are just very basic, we can leverage X and Y axes only. We don't need to, if we are not leveraging the Z axis, then we can use Selenium, Robot, Puppeteer, Playwright, any tool, whatever we are using. But if we need to really interact with Z axis, like if it's a complex model and we are trying to make changes with them, then 3.js is the library which Arohi just talked about, which can only be used. And there are some like 3.js you can use. And if, yeah, that is the most. And other than this, if we really want to use, we can use record and play tools. There are paid tools like test trigger, Applitools. So those tools are there which can be used to validate record using record and play, making the changes manually and then recording it, and then the validation, the test you can write later on. So those type of tools which we can use.
Got it, got it. I hope the person who asked the question have got the answer in very elaborated form now. And for those whose question I was not able to take today, I'm making sure that we are going to respond back to all of your questions via your email IDs or via our chat box for sure. I'll make sure our speakers also give all the answers in specific. So, for now, as we are wrapping up, I would like to thank you both, Harshit and Aruhi, for sharing your valuable insights today. Let's summarize what we have got to understand today is image verification, which is very crucial for enhancing automation testing accuracy, is in our visual first digital era. And 3D web automation is essential for ensuring immersive user experiences remain glitch free. For those turning in, if you would like to connect or learn more, feel free to follow us on our LinkedIn page. And the recorded session of this webinar is going to be uploaded on our YouTube channel as well. So don't forget to like, share, and comment on our social media platform. Before we close, any final words from you both, please?
Sure, definitely. So it's a strategic leap, delivering high quality, immersive experiences faster than ever before. As the world changing and as we are continuing to innovate in this space, remember that the key to staying ahead is the continuous improvement, smarter automations and seamless collaboration. I encourage all of you to take a closer look at your current testing workflows and identifying opportunities to integrate 3D automations. Let's embrace these advancements to elevate not just our applications but also the experiences we offer to our users. Feel free to connect with me for further discussions and to share our experiences, whether it's a challenge you are facing or successes you have achieved in automation. Together, we can shape the future of 3D testing. Thank you, and let's say conversation going.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Harshit, for your words. Thank you both, Harshit and Aruhi, for your time today. And I would like to thank all of my audience, those who have been so patiently listening to us. Thank you so much, and have a very great day. And keep innovating these kind of things, and we'll keep on coming back with such topics for you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Sneha. Thank you, everyone.